Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing 1, 2, 3. Testing. Good.
No, London.
Good morning,
Okay.
Commissioners. Commissioner Suchman, can you hear me?
I can.
Commissioner Richard?
I can hear you. Can you
All
hear
right.
me?
All right, I think, Mike, you can hear me better now with my microphone.
Yeah, that's good. So, okay. All right. Welcome to the Public Service Commission's administrative meeting for August 21st, 2024. Before we turn to the official work, I want to make a couple of introductions. We've actually added 2 new people to the Public Service Commission's team. The first is Alexis Foxworth. She's becoming a commission advisor. We got her from the General Assembly. She was the lead counsel for the Senate Environment, Education, and Energy Committee, although I probably may have mixed up the E's, but the Triple E Committee.
Yeah.
And so she's come on board to work as a commission advisor. She went to the College of William and Mary and North Carolina Central University School of Law. So we look forward to having her as one of our trusted advisors. And then secondly...
Is she here? Could we have her stand up?
I think she's getting onboarded right now.
Yeah.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. And then secondly, we have Sophie McDonald, who is the Commission's newest Clean Energy Innovator Fellow, which is provided through a program from the Department of Energy. Sophie is an engineer with a degree from the University of Connecticut, and we have they kind of are behind the scenes, but the DOE fellows have been very, very helpful in all the work we do here at the Commission. So we're really looking forward to having Sophie join that team, and I think she's way in the back of the room there. So welcome
Okay.
aboard. And with that, we will move to approval of the minutes for our last meeting of August 14th, 2024. Commissioner Suchman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barbat.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
All right.
Mr. Chair, there are 3 items on today's consent agenda. Item number 1 consists of revised tariff pages from ANPI Business LLC. Item number 2 is a request from Jones Farm Lane Solar LLC to extend construction and operational deadlines, nunc-pro-tunc. Item number 3 is a request from Perennial Solar LLC for an extension of construction and operational deadlines.
Okay, with regarding item 1, I move that we note the filing. Commissioner Sushman,
Aye.
Commissioner Barve,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. Regarding item 2, I move we grant the company's request for an extension of the previously extended construction and operational deadlines, such as the company may commence construction by August 17th, 2024, and must complete the project for operation by December 17th, 2025, and direct the company prior to beginning construction activities to obtain and provide the commission staff with the interconnection service and construction service agreements that have been revised with updated unexpired deadlines. Commissioner Sushman.
Actually, I would like to ask somebody a question here about
Okay,
this.
all right.
You know, reading this buck sheet, it reminded me of the Beatles' last hit song, The Long and Winding Road. Care to comment on especially the nearly 2 year, 2.5 year, I guess 2 year delay that the company had between April of 21 and 23? Because I have a 5-year term. I'd really like to see this get completed before I retire.
Sure. Thank you, Commissioner Barve. David Bugelmans on behalf of Jones Farm Lane Solar LLC. I am joined this morning by Telly Manos, Senior Director of Development from Urban Grid, the developer of the project. Before I answer your question, maybe I misunderstood the chair's motion, but Chair Hoover, I think you maybe said August 17th. We've requested an extension until October 17th.
Oh, okay.
So I just wanted to point that out. With
It does
respect.
say October on my sheet, so I
Okay.
may have misspoke.
With respect to the timeline of this project, the initial extension request that we filed was really due to issues related to interconnection studies, really the backlog at PJM getting that work done. The most recent holdups have been primarily local permitting related with respect to the site plan process in Queen Anne's County. Queen Anne's County has a very involved site plan review process, and the project had to make multiple revisions. There's a lot of back and forth to get that done. And then most recently, we had to, once that was done, have the site plan reviewed by PPRP so we can move forward with the decommissioning plan. So there's sort of these sequential steps that had to be completed. I'm happy to report, however, that the project is ready to begin construction. And in fact, if the commission approves this extension, approves the decommissioning plan later on in the agenda today, we actually have the decommissioning bond in hand to hand in after the admin, and the project will begin construction tomorrow. So this project will happen this year very, very soon.
Good to know. Thank you.
Sure.
Okay, and so with that, let me take it from the top. So I move we grant the company's request for an extension of the previously extended construction and operational deadlines such that the company must commence construction by October 17th, 2024, and complete the project for operation by December 17th, 2025, and direct the company prior to the beginning of construction activities to obtain and provide the commission staff with interconnection service and construction service agreements that have been revised with the updated unexpired deadlines. Commissioner Sushman,
Aye.
Commissioner Barve,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. And regarding item 3, I move that we grant the company the requested extension of the construction deadline to September 17th, 2026, and the operational deadline to September 17th, 2027 by amending Condition 3 of the CPCN, subject to any other amendment to the CPCN conditions recommended by the Power Plant Research Program. Commissioner Sushman,
Aye.
Commissioner Barve,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Sorry. Aye.
I vote aye.
Mr. Chair, item number 4 consists of revised tariff pages, updating a bulk purchased water rate for the Pinto and Highland Estates from Maryland Water Service, Inc.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and Commissioners. Alden Manka on behalf of staff. On July 15, 2024, Maryland Water Service, Inc. filed revised tariff pages to revise the bulk purchased water rates for the Pinto and Highland Estates water systems. These changes are in response to Allegheny County and the City of Cumberland increasing their water supply rates effective July 1, 2022. The company supplies water for the Pinto and Highland Estates water systems by purchasing water from Allegheny County and the City of Cumberland, respectively. The company charges customers the rate it pays for water plus an additional 15% for unaccounted for water losses. For the Pinto water system, the bulk purchase water rate is increasing from $8.15 per thousand gallons to $10.04 per thousand gallons. The average Pinto customer would see a bill increase of $6.74 per month due to this change. There are 935 Pinto customers who will be affected by this change. The Pinto bulk purchased water rate was last increased in September 2023. For the Highland Estates water system, the bulk purchase water rate is increasing from $8.30 per thousand gallons to $12.52 per thousand gallons. The average Highland Estates customer would see a bill increase of $11.92 per month due to this change. There are 38 Highland Estates customers who will be affected by this change, and the Highland Estates bulk purchase water rate was last increased in August 2009. Staff recommends the Commission accept the revised tariffs for filing with an effective date of August 21st, 2024. Thank you, and I'm available for questions.
Any questions for staff? Seeing none?
Thank you, Chair Hoover. Commissioners, David Beaglemans, this time on behalf of Maryland Water Service, Inc. Nothing to add to staff's presentation or spec sheet, but I'm here to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Any questions for the company? Let me ask one. So,
I just-
I think Mike might have had one.
oh, okay. Do you have a, Commissioner Richard, do you have a question? Or?
I was just going to ask
Nope.
if there was kind of a little narrative on why the prices of water have increased so much. I know this is just a pass through for these companies, but these are pretty big rate increases.
Yeah, and actually, let me amend on to his question. Are you aware of the timing that, the Allegheny County and the City of Cumberland go through when they make their changes? I mean, and is there any relationship, any negotiation between your client and the county and municipal governments that are supplying the water regarding the price, or is it just, you just pass through what they charge you?
Sure. So a couple things. This is a pass-through for both of these water systems. The company purchases the water from municipal sources, basically the City of Cumberland and Allegheny County. From what I have seen, I've represented this company maybe for 6 years now, and I've done at least one of these increases before. It seems to be almost in terms of timing, almost random. I don't know if there's a process, there may be a budget process that the local governments need to go through to raise their municipal rates. But from what I have seen, it's really a surprise to the company when these rates increase. They literally receive a notice in the mail, so there isn't a negotiation or back and forth with the provider.
Okay. Any other questions? All right.
Mr. Chair, just one,
Sure.
and again, Mr. Beagleman, sorry, you may not have the answers, but are the water consumers of Allegheny County and Cumberland also experiencing these same increases, or is this something just being passed on to these private companies?
I think it is. My understanding is this was an increase for both of these providers, for all customers. I think there is a special bulk water rate that's charged, for bulk water customers. I don't know how that rate compares to, for instance, residential customers in the rest of the county. So I don't have that information for you. But I think this is part of a larger rate increase from both providers.
Okay, well, I thank you for that. Maybe in the future, it would be, especially when we're talking about such big increases in rates, maybe just a little more information on what's driving these costs. But anyway, I understand that these are just a pass-through at this point. Thank you. Thank you,
Well, I
Mr.
guess
Chair.
the question, Mr. Chairman, this
Sure.
just a follow up to Commissioner Richard's question. Is there a way that without sort of creating an onerous obligation on the part of Maryland Water Service, but is there a way that we can get at least a sense of why such a big increase and who it's affecting?
We could certainly take that back and see what we can find. Again, this is an increase from the municipal providers. So I can't commit to you that information is publicly available, but we can definitely take a look and see if we can get it to the commission.
Right. No, and I appreciate that, and I don't want to create a huge obligation, but to the extent that there's information available that can at least give us a sense of why there's such a big increase, I think that would be useful.
Sure.
Thank you.
Okay. And with that, I move that we accept the tariff provisions for filing with an effective date of August 21, 2024. Commissioner Sushman.
Aye.
Commissioner Barvik.
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye.
Mr. Chair, item number 5 is a request from Jones Farm Lane Solar LLC for approval of a revised decommissioning plan pursuant to PPRP Condition 24.
Good morning, Chair Hoover and Commissioners. Roger Austin presenting this item on behalf of staff. So on April 17th, 2028, the Commission issued an order granting Jones Farm Lane Solar LLC a certificate of public convenience and necessity to construct a 56.70 megawatt solar generating station in Queen Anne's County. The Department of Natural Resources Power Plant Research Programs License Condition 24 required Jones Farm to provide the Commission and PPRP with a decommissioning plan for review and approval prior to the start of construction. The plan shall address how project components that are subject to decommissioning will be removed and or recycled, site conditions after decommissioning, and requires Jones Farm to secure a funding mechanism that covers the cost of implementing the decommissioning plan. This is to ensure that the state and or county will not be responsible for decommissioning costs at the end of the project's useful life or in the event that it is abandoned. Additionally, the decommissioning cost estimate and the funding mechanism are to be updated every 5 years over the life of the project to account for inflation or other necessary changes. Staff has reviewed Jones Farm's decommissioning plan and finds that the plan adequately addresses the requirements of PPRP condition number 24. Jones Farm has estimated the net decommissioning cost to be $605,930. Jones Farm acknowledges that there may be additional costs incurred by the state or county in the event of early abandonment of the project. Therefore, Jones Farm has proposed to post financial assurance in the form of a letter of credit in the amount of $1,541,840. Staff concludes that Jones Farm's decommissioning plan meets the requirement of PPRP Condition 24. Staff recommends that the Commission approve Jones Farm's proposed decommissioning plan and direct the company to provide the documentary evidence of having acquired a letter of credit for the amount of $1,541,840 prior to the start of construction.
Any questions for staff? All right.
Morning, Mr. Chairman and Commissioners. Max Cook on behalf of Jones Farm Lane Solar LLC. I also have with me Mr. Telly Manos with the developer. We've reviewed staff's filing, and the only comment we'd like to make, which Mr. Bugelman's touched on earlier, is that pending the Commission's approval today, we do have the financial assurance with us, and the company will be able to begin construction tomorrow. And with that, I'm here to answer any questions from the Commission.
Any questions for, all right. And actually, before I move to the motion, PPRP is in fact okay with this proposal, correct?
Yes, Your Honor. We filed comments on Monday indicating that we did not oppose it.
Okay. Anything else?
Yeah, the only clarification I would like to make is it is actually a surety bond as opposed to a letter of credit, but we do have that with us today.
Okay, with that, I move we approve the company's updated decommissioning plan and direct the company to provide documentary evidence that it has acquired a surety bond for the amount of $1,541,840 prior to the start of construction. Commissioner Sushman,
Aye.
Commissioner Barbe,
Aye.
Commissioner Richard.
Aye.
I vote aye. And with that, we're adjourned from the administrative meeting. Those of you who are here for RM 83, we'll take that up at